Good morning, Honors Algebra 2. I want to go through one of the division problems from lesson 831 just to make sure everybody understands how polynomial division works. So for 816, we wanted to go ahead and divide 6x cubed plus 7x squared minus 16x plus 10 divided by 2x plus 5. So here's how we set it up. First, you want to make sure that your polydoku is what they call it, but basically that your rectangle is big enough so you can find the result when you divide. So if you notice here, we don't use that upper left corner, but what we divide by goes in that left column, and our solution is going to be what happens on our top row. So here's how it works. We start with our largest term, so the one with the biggest degree, in this corner right here, 6x cubed, okay? And now it's basically like undoing multiplication. So we want to ask ourselves, 2x times what gave me 6x cubed? So we know that's 3x squared. So then once we get this term, we go ahead and we multiply. 3x squared times 2x is 6x cubed, so that's accurate. 3x squared times 5 is 15x squared. And then we look down over here at our original polynomial. And we're like, all right, well, it's not 15x squared, it's 7x squared. So to make this simplify to the original, I have to subtract 8x squared. And then that simplifies to 7x squared. So then we repeat the process. 2x times what gave me negative 8x squared? Well, that's negative 4x. So again, that multiplies to give us this term, so now we need to multiply the negative 4x and 5, so I get negative 20x. All right, and if it simplifies to negative 16x, that means I need to add 4x. So 2x times what gave me 4x? Well, 2x times 2, all right? And then 2 times 5 is 10, which means it divides evenly, so our solution to this original polynomial, so I'll write it over here, is 3x squared minus 4x plus 2. All right, so why don't we look at maybe one more? I'm going to go ahead and do problem 818. Let's go for letter C, just to try a different one. So 818C, the problem is, and this is just another way to write a division problem, x cubed plus x squared minus 14x plus 3 divided by x minus 3. But we want to set it up the same way. So again, when I set up my rectangle here, I just try to make it big enough that I got space for all my terms. And if you run out of room, you can always add another column. Also, if you notice, I like to extend these lines just so I know that what I'm dividing by goes on that first column, and then my solution is going to go in that top row, and we don't use this upper left corner. So again, if you need more columns, just add them. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start with the biggest term always goes right up here, because that's the first thing that we're going to work with, and we work our way down. So that's x cubed. So x times what gives me x cubed? Well, it's x squared. X squared times negative 3 is negative 3x squared. So then I look at my x squared term and I'm like, all right, well, I don't need negative 3x squared. I need a positive x squared. So I need to add a 4x squared to that, which means up here is a 4x. 4x times negative 3 is negative 12x. I need a negative 14, so negative 2x. So a negative 2 goes up here. Now watch what happens here. Negative 2 times 3 is 6. But I wanted a 3 as my constant term, which means I have a remainder. So the remainder is basically what do I need to add to 6 to get 3? Well, in this case, it's negative 3, and it kind of goes in that last column. So then how do we write an answer with the remainder? Well, we write what's on top, same as before, x squared plus 4x minus 2, and then we go ahead and we add our remainder, negative 3, over what we're dividing by. So when we get a remainder, it's also telling us that this polynomial is not evenly divisible by x minus 3, or we could say that x minus 3 is not a factor of this polynomial. All right, guys, have a good day.